So what is the best way for an independent artist to give a free digital download of their album when someone buys the physical copy? You have email, which is going to be the easiest and the quickest, but it's going to be the most boring and non-interactive way. Basically, if someone buys your new album on CD, then they'll just get a download link right after that. There are artists that I buy from that do this, and there's no real issue. You can have a QR code that's printed in the album art somewhere or on an insert when someone buys the CD or vinyl. It is an interactive option, but people can actually just share that URL once they scan that QR code, and anyone can download it. And you can have the classic download card. Now, these were created for a recent vinyl release that we did. The digital download is hosted on Bandcamp. So all you got to do is go to this URL and then put in this unique code to get one free digital download of the album. This costs us about 42 cents, which isn't too bad. The problem with a download card is the user experience, because especially if you have to type out the URL and then you have to put in the code, it's not the smoothest experience compared to the other options. But the good news is that it's hosted on Bandcamp, which to me is a very safe and reliable option. Now, there was a missed opportunity with this because I could have just put the QR code on the back. So instead of having to type out the URL, you could have just scanned the code and then put in this unique code here, and then that would have been it. But I didn't think about that until I made this video, but that's another option you can consider. And lastly, you have the NFC chip option that Chance the Rapper did. The cool thing about the NFC chip is that once you tap your phone, it'll generate a unique URL that only works once and it only lasts for 30 minutes. So I thought this was a cool way to prevent people from sharing the link. So to me, the biggest issue with the NFC chip is the cost. The cost is probably going to be around $2 a chip. Now, if you get higher quantities, like 1,000 above, it's probably going to be cheaper, starting at $1 each. Now, each of these options have their own advantages and disadvantages as it relates to the costs, the security, user experience, and reliability. So it's important that wherever you're directing people to get this free digital download, that it's a very reputable and trustworthy company, because the last thing that you want to do is offer this free digital download, whether they scan a code or a tap or whatever, and they go to a splash page that no longer exists, the company went out of business or whatever, and that's not going to be a very good user experience. So it's very important that you trust and find a company to facilitate this that is going to actually last. Now, to be fair, this whole URL situation is the best that we can do at the moment, because we know it's not physically possible to transfer a full-length album from an NFC chip to a phone if you tap on it. Now, an NFC chip can only transfer a few bytes of data, which is just enough for a URL, which is why that's what we have to settle with at the moment. Now, what do you think is the best way to give a free digital download of an album when someone buys a physical format? Let me know in the comments below.